sort of an oddity, and you were underground, and now you've moved, and we're here on a set right now of a movie called Chain of Events. Excellent director named Mark McDonald. How hard was it for you?
Well, it was kind of rough at first because everybody wants you to do martial arts or choreographing and all that stuff. So about 10 years ago, I got my first movie gig. I guess I got beat up on. We did some stunt choreography work for Nightwing Productions. It was called The Detail. My karate teacher's son, John Mason Jr., he let me get on set, work out with him, choreographed it because we all knew what we were doing. You know, he knew that we knew what we were doing, so we wouldn't hurt him, but little did we know that he was not going to hurt us. So we did that, kind of caught the bug for it, didn't know if it would go anywhere. So after I got too old to fight anymore, or started going to school and doing all this other stuff, I said, well, let me try this acting gig again. So I went on set, did a couple zombie films. Then somebody's like, hey, you did this, I remember you blah 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 fighting. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, why don't you choreograph some fight scenes for us? I'm like, cool. So then I started choreographing fight scenes, and then they give me one word here, two words here, and then the next thing you know, they're like, hey, just run with it. So I got this role playing in Hell House, and it was a small part, but once I got comfortable with it, they just kept running it. So each movie kind of got better and better, and it's all practice, just kind of like martial arts. You just keep going and keep going and keep going, and hopefully one day somebody will see it, and I can be like, hey, Randy, hey, look at me, hey, BJ, all them guys doing all those movies. I started it about 8 years ago trying to seriously get into acting, and now it's taken off, and then MMA guys are, like Quentin Rampage Jackson, Randy Couture on mainstream. So that's where I'm trying to go now. So.
Well, talk to us about Fright Night Film Fest and your involvement there.
Fright Night Film Fest is ran by Ken and his wife Myra Daniels. It is the biggest film festival, convention, fandom fest this side of the Mississippi. They bring in all the stars so people can have a chance to meet them. And through that, my friendship with Ken, I've got to know some of these big stars, act with some of these guys. I just recently did a movie called Hatfields and McCoys, directed by Fred Olin Ray, big Hollywood producer and director out in California. So those roles kind of parlay into other roles, which hopefully one day I'll be out in California doing a whole bunch more. But what people don't understand though is here, with those film festivals like Ken and Myra do, they bring Hollywood to us. We shoot a lot of film here that people don't realize that are shot here. They may not say, hey, it's filmed on location in Kentucky all the time, but a lot of those big budget movies are made right here that we get to be a part of.
Well, you also have a booth at Fright Night Film Fest, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I'm a celebrity there. They bring me in as a celebrity, and I kind of pimp my movies out, if you will. Kind of show people what I used to do in the martial arts, and then all my new stuff coming up. So they just kind of keep you on the tongues of everybody so they'll go see your film.
Well, how often do you get on set and immediately people are like, oh, MMA, you're the choreographer?
Well, it used to happen a lot, but here now recently it's kind of transitioned. A lot of people are like, oh, wow, it's Dale, he's a good actor, this and that. So it's been kind of a good thing to break away from, the fighting, the martial arts, and to get into that. But what people don't understand is I use my martial arts in my acting. The same dedication, the same rehearsal, the same stuff. There's really no difference except for not throwing a punch at nobody or taking one to be exact. That's better.
Well, do you have any advice for MMA guys trying to make the crossover?
The only advice I can say is, just like in your training, don't ever give up. It'll start out slow, possibly, unless you're like a big name like Randy or Quentin, then get those roles right away. And plus, being able to do it, your name can get you into the door, but if you cannot do the work, you're quickly exited out. And so that's a good thing, just keep practicing, be humble, take all the roles you can get, build up your resume, and eventually one day you'll probably be sitting in front of the camera or behind the camera, and people are like, wow, that guy's a really good actor and not a martial artist. So just keep it up.
All right, Dale, thank you so much.
Hey, no problem, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.